Excellent. All right. Last we left off, essentially the last session, and then the session point five from before. You guys returned back into the Materium, back into Arcosis from your journeys within the labyrinth, saving essentially two gods who are now in a sort of weakened form. The culmination of that being that you've all been granted a boon, a magical item, and that Sia has been given the title of Herald for a new religion that she has to essentially come up with so that Alvina and Kishoten can help you guys in the material. You guys brought back basically in the bowels of a ship. This ship was being used supposedly by members of the Blackened Sun. There is a skull transcribed with an old sort of like repeating message before it sort of dies of vessel. Make your way down towards the south. You're needed down there. Vessel probably in relation to Finch, who is now harboring three warlord gems, and whose now mission is to find the rest of them, and with the help of your new godly friends, try and revive the almighty Goktengri once again. You guys also sort of culmination that in the 24 years it's been, the great tree is essentially dead and on fire. You come across some fishermen for like making your way down the coast who don't seem to really give a shit that it's on fire. So it definitely felt like it might have happened ages ago. You give it some advice in regards to what the world is like by them, but it's not until you sort of reach this sort of impasse where you need to cross the river that you guys are sort of picked up in a way by a floating barge, by Rikoshi raiders, led by one Rikoshi, a goblin who was in his like early to late 50s. You're taken aboard, you questioned a bit, but in regards to finding out who you are and sort of what your gist is, he provides his crew and his services for you to do with what you wish to a certain degree. And though you can't pay them now, they will certainly be making sure that you pay them later. You guys are headed towards the city of Yingchuan to the south, where two of the previous warlords, still alive, are at. You guys are then sort of free to walk the ship, and as you do so, Sia is sort of confronted and spoken to by Anastasia, who might be related to the Fey Lady Warlord of the South. They had a conversation, and a sort of, hey, I want you to do a sermon for the crew. But it seemed like the tea or the drink that Sia was given was spiked, and Sia was ended up reliving essentially a last memory that she had. But at the culmination of coming back and like leaving the memory, her sermon has finished without her knowledge in regards to what was said. But it seems the crew enjoyed the sermon, and Anastasia sitting at the back with a very devilish smile. And as of right now, that's where we're at. The crews sort of get up out of this eating like mesh hall that was turned into for this sermon. They start to leave. Anastasia gets up with a bright big smile on her face. She looks at you, Sia, one final time, just smiles, waves, and she also leaves. And then the rest of you are sort of just wandering around the ship, pretty much. No. Essentially, the like you guys, the other three of you
We
had
were
sort
still
of
in the
like
room, or
yeah,
we were elsewhere.
yeah, sort of case of like, all right, you guys can go, and as you guys sort of leave, Sia gets like a tap on the shoulder. Hey, okay. You make your way up from sort of inside the ship onto the deck. There's a bunch of crew sort of like just tying up rope and just doing ship things, but in the air, pretty much. Uh, yep. Uh, roll a perception check for me. 15. Yeah, you feel like you single out one of the crew members. This like young looking bugbear, scarred all over. He feels like you can see like he's not really doing anything. It's like a never ending bundle of rope that he keeps flinging around his arm. But he seems to be doing fuck all. No, no. Yeah, it's still uh quite dark. It's probably like 2 in the morning, sort of thing. Um, uh, the only sort of real thing that takes the eye is that the tree on fire just behind you, larger than life. Roll a religious check.
The
Right.
mammoth god is dead.
Yeah. 10. You don't really pick up on anything. You can feel like she might be there, but you don't know if like if you speak to her, she'll answer you like she has before. Everybody else, what would we like to get up to? Are you muted, Beck?
I'm just chilling in the room. That hasn't changed. Finch, I don't want to move around the ship all that much until we're a little closer to our destination.
Yep.
So I'm just chilling in the room. I'm just trying to see if I have something that I can maybe do in the meantime that isn't just casual fucking. Because I've still got that book. I don't know that I have a way to read it yet.
No, you do
Um,
not.
yeah, in that case, I am merely going to. Um, I don't even have anything else to fucking read. I'm just gonna think about shit. Oh my god! As I just realized, I still have that fucking diamond that's gonna pay for a year's worth of this shit.
That could be used for that, sure.
Has diamonds gone up in price? Because this diamond is worth 2,000 gold.
You don't know. Inflation. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, because what's that in yen? Whatever the fuck we're on now.
The Kingdom of the Eight Crowns uses yen, which is the paper currency.
Yes, yen provided by the Yuan clan. Everyone else uses Kingdom of the Karganate. I bet these based individuals still use gold and silver and copper.
Yes, they do.
Hell yeah. I don't even want to know what the Kingdom of the Eternal Sun use. Probably favors their currency. Fucking parkour civilization fucking currency. Hey, make this jump. Hey, tight.
Wessel, what about you, brother?
Just exploring the ship.
All right, make a perception check for me.
I'll see how the online dice go. That would be a 19.
19?
Yeah.
All right. Just making your way through the ship, sort of unobstructed. It looks like this ship has been through a bit. Patchworks in like sides of the hull of the ship itself, at least from the inside that you can see. There are certain doors you can't open that appear to be closed.
I don't think I'll push it.
The only other sort of one that you find sort of surprisingly unlocked is the door to the storage hold.
Yeah, I'll have a nosy down there.
Right. Pushing the door open. It's not as well lit as sort of the rest of the ship. And sort of the light sort of tapers off into the dark. And for a brief moment, you think you see a pair of red glowing eyes, sort of like in the corner of the room. You do a double take and they disappear.
He's gonna ignore that and he's gonna leave.
Excellent. As you exit the room and close the door, turning around, you're sort of half spooked by a hobgoblin gentleman, probably in his like early 30s. He looks like weathered and just tired. His red skin looks leathery, and he goes, "You find what you were looking for in there?"
I was just wrong voice. I was just looking around.
Quite the sight, isn't she, eh?
The ship? Yeah.
Yeah, this was one of the originals.
Oh wow. That's cool.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Well,
How long have they been made for?
well, the Class 1s were first made 15 years ago.
Oh, so it's done a good job then.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, we treat this shit with love, and she loves us back.
It's a she.
Of course.
Huh. Interesting.
Where are you from, may I ask?
Uh, Arcosis.
I can picture that. But where in Arcosis?
Just trying to find. Oh god. Where's the D&D channel? I thought I saved the new map. I'm from up north.
The Eternal Sun?
Yeah, around there.
Bit far south for you?
Well, shit happened. Things went weird, and time travel happened, and yeah,
You travel time.
apparently. Do I still have the necklace on?
Yeah.
Can I take it off?
You can attempt to.
Yeah, I want to try to.
Make a strength check for me, please.
Uh, 12.
It is not budgeable.
Uh, well, yeah. This thing here. This is kind of part of that.
Oh, you got yourself a little moving hourglass there. Isn't that unique?
It does weird shit.
Well, like what?
Well, I was 5 years old when I put this on, and now I'm 2. Wait, no, but never mind. You know what I mean.
It de-aged you?
Yeah, that.
Is that all it does?
Well, I read somewhere that it might give me a heart attack or something, but I don't know. I've been fine so far.
What would cause you to have a heart attack?
I stress. I think.
Oh, we can't have that.
I don't remember if it was actually written in a book specifically, or they said, "Oh, it's just a bit dangerous." Yeah, like I know that we know, but I don't remember if it was written down in the book specifically what happens.
Stress. Just any amount. And your heart goes.
Well, I fucking hope not any amount. Oh, maybe not any amount. I mean, yeah, like I said, shit happened, and well, I felt fine.
Oh, well. That sounds alright then. I guess we just have to watch out for you being stressed, I guess.
Yeah, don't overwork me.
I wasn't planning on.
Well, this has been a nice conversation.
He strikes his hand out and he goes, Fusion's my name.
My note. Fucking idiot. Nice to meet you. My name is Whistle.
Wessel. It's very unique. Not really Arcosian, but you're not genetically Arcosian either, so that's fine.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any other Herringon before, so can't imagine that seen around here much. Has that changed though in the last however many years?
Has what changed?
The amount of Herringons around. Am I the only one still? From what I've seen.
Wessel, I don't know. You're the first Harangon I've ever seen.
Oh.
if what you say is true. But I could count on one hand how many different other people are out there. But I am only one person, and thus I cannot give you sort of the answer you would like to see. I'm sure there are plenty other Harringans out there. Just I've never crossed paths with any.
Well, fingers crossed.
Indeed.
Well, paws crossed, and he hand up his paw. Ah, you fuck. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm sure when we get to Yinchuan, there might be another Harrigan somewhere. It's become quite a strange safe haven for the non-Arcosians. It's more to do with regards to the Queen than the King, but she does have a way of finding to get what she wants. Are you a religious man, Wessel?
Can't say that I am. There's
I guess that's
higher powers, but
Oh, of course. One cannot deny that the gods exist for sure. For how else were we created?
yeah, pretty much.
I hear tales and legends and myths that a long time ago they used to walk the plane of Volusia with us. I think that's a little bit far-fetched, but could you imagine? Drinking at
Yeah,
your local tavern, and then all of a sudden, Gog Tengri walking in? Do
I
you think
imagine
Gog
it'd be a
Tengri would
party.
shout the bar, or do you think he'd be cheap and wait for someone to pay for it?
Hmm. I at least like to think that he would shout the bar like once or twice.
I
I
guess
don't know for sure.
that would bring in another question in regards to why would he hold money? Coin. He's a god. Why not just wave his hand and give everybody a drink?
Maybe he wants to experience life like a normal person.
An acceptable answer, I would say.
Or maybe more in a practical way keep the economy flowing or something like that.
The economy flowing. That's a good one. Well, Wessel, if you ever need my help later on, come seek me out and I'll do what I can.
Okay. No worries. Well met, Mr. What was his name again? I missed it.
Fusion.
Fusion. Okay, no, I did get it right. Okay.
And with that, he takes a step back, does a slight bow, and walks away.
Whistle just waves. And he'll just go back to everyone else.
Finch is still in the interrogator room, and Sia has made her way also to the interrogator room, and Ezekiel is up on the deck.
I think I'd go out with Ezekiel. Keep getting some fresh air.
All right. Making your way back up through the ship on top of the deck, you see there's only maybe 2 to 3 sort of like deckhands around, just lazily not really doing anything. And then you see Ezekiel staring off into the distance, where the large looming sight that is very, very slowly decreasing in size of the burning peach tree.
Gotta take a while to get used to that. Fair enough. Not every day that a tree that was all fine and good when we were there, and now it's look at it. Well, the tree's still here. I don't know. If you somehow got all the way up there, the canopy and all that, you might be able to find maybe one or two. Don't think maybe somewhere someone has made an old hoard of peaches from the tree. I was spitballing. Well, I mean, I've definitely lived a lot longer than a Herringon should have, so I'd say so. Oh, they're gone. That ate like when I was a little baby. So that yeah that's how I oh fuck that's how I got adopted by a human lady. Oh he dropped it's a small thing. I don't know. Uh, he- I need to delete the music box from my inventory. Fuck. I don't know. He dropped a pin or something. Oh jeez.
Oh shit.
Yeah, what a jump scare! You love to see it.
Uh, might have. I was uh, just getting by. Uh, there is someone that I've been looking for, but I fuck knows if they're still alive. What they might be dead. It's been how many years and how many changes, and whether or not they died of natural causes or in some bar brawl, or I don't know, they got drunk and drowned in a river, which would be funny. As long as that motherfucker gets his due, I don't mind. Do I? Or was it just because he had that one roll?
A potion and spell.
I don't think I've had to roll it once, so I've been pretty lucky with mine. No, but I still want to get rid of this thing. Wait, you don't think if we take it off, it'll age us to what we're meant to be? he starts freaking out. Is it Zeke? If I take it off and that happens, I'm dead. it's almost two generations for a herring god has passed. I shouldn't be alive this long. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna take it off. You know, how monks and shit that obviously some of them at least that they learn to like be calm all the time. Do you think we could learn something like that from them? Because if we can't get rid of this without killing us, maybe we can like help prevent it. Yeah. Uh, Mechanically, I think so. Yes, but I don't know law. Yeah, we could do. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh shit. No. Yeah, but might be a good idea while we still can. You, you too.
You haven't been given a room. Yeah. No one's been given a room. You've just essentially been given free reign to walk around the ship, but no one said, "Hey, you sleep in here."
Hmm? Oh, no, I was just gonna crawl up here on the deck. It's a very fucking different game. uh, um, I mean, maybe someone wouldn't mind.
You are aware that there is like a large, like sort of sleeping quarters, which is just nothing but beds. Whether or not they'll have space for you guys is something you'll have to find out.
Actually, yeah, I suppose that would be better than sleeping on a floor. Oh yeah, that would piss me right the fuck off. Yeah, I'll go down too.
It's not that hard to find. You've passed by them twice now. Walking in there, most of the beds are filled. They're sort of like triple bunked to sort of like cram as much people as possible into this area. But there is sort of like at the back of the sleeping quarter, there is a couple of bunks that are empty. Yeah. Compared to the beds of the labyrinth, these are fucking like rocks. They're all the same. They're all very cheap commodity. They're built for fucking convenience, not for comfort.
So they're not the old net hammocks that the pirates usually had.
No.
Damn.
These are not. These are hardened straw mattresses.
Oh well. I'm gonna put my bedroll over it.
Uh,
A
that helps.
horse would be more comfortable.
No, that's not how that works. Yeah, don't you fucking forget it. Don't you fucking forget it. I'm the DM here. You'll sleep on the fucking dog shit mattress, and you'll enjoy it. Oh, good. And what's left is Sia and Finch inside the still inside the quote
Nah,
unquote interrogation room.
if it's that late, I would have probably gone to bed.
Yeah.
Once everyone else left the interrogation room, I probably would have just slept in there, or tried to go to sleep in there.
Right. If nothing major has happened, Sia would go to bed as well.
Yeah, nothing major has essentially happened. And you will find your other two compatriots at the back of their quarters, sleeping in this mattress. And you all get some sleep, and then you wake up perfectly fine 9 hours later.
That was very suspicious. Perfectly fine. I'm checking for needle marks.
As you all sort of wake up, the first thing you notice, or you feel, is that it doesn't feel like the ship is moving. And there's no one else inside the quarters. They're there, but there's no crew members.
It's the fucking weirdest ship I've ever been on. And that's saying something.
Yeah, it's basically as soon as you exit the room, two crew members run past. They look like they're in a bit of a hurry. They both have their weapons drawn. Oh, don't worry about it. Continue running. Yes.
Wes is going to draw his punch daggers and follow on, even though he told us to wait.
Before you sort of feel like arriving where their location is, where you think they've run off to inside the ship, two gunshot sounds go off, and as you turn the corner, you see a crew member with two holes in his chest, slumped over midway through, drawing something on the wall of the ship. No, as in he was. It looked like he was mid draw.
Yes, same.
You hear about 8 more shots ring out through the ship.
Okay.
You have 2.
Oh well, we should. Should we try to help?
No, you have no idea what they're named.
We merely observed them.
The crew do not have the ones that you have. The crew look like they're using. Well, they're like the ones that you have, but theirs looks far worse.
Did we see who that crew member got? Did you see who that crew member got shot by?
Wessel's going to stealth off and try and have.
Roll a stealth check for me, if you would like to do that.
I believe that's a 26. Yeah, 26.
26. All right, sweet. You feel like you're able to at least partially slink through the ship to the best of your thoughtful ability.
Okay.
Anywhere you would like to go in particular?
Nah, I'm just generally slinking around trying to get an idea on what's actually going on. If there's any target place that I might attempt to get to, but I won't be too greedy, would be the deck.
Yeah. Slinking through the halls of or the pathways of the ship, sort of quietly ducking in and out of like doorways, and barrels or other miscellaneous like large enough items for you to like hide behind or cover from. Making your way towards the deck, you do see about 6 to 8 bodies sort of scattered throughout the ship, all with holes in them. They look like crewmates of the ship. But the the sort of doorway that leads from the from the bows of the ship to the deck. You go to sort of open it, and it holds strong.
Can I
There's no
check?
lock on this door,
Yeah.
but there is a weight on it.
Hmm. I won't. I won't bother trying to open that. There's no fucking way Wessel's getting that open. I'll head back to everyone else if there's nothing else really going. Oh, are there still more banging sounds going on, or are they all beyond the door, if anything?
You don't hear any more gunshots, but you also don't hear any sort of noise. Though there's no like, it's quiet, eerily quiet.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna head back to everyone else.
You arrive, unaccosted, perfectly fine.
Yo. Well, whatever has started shit, I can't find them, but there's a few bodies. And there's a door that I can't get open, and I need Ezekiel's help when he gets back, because he's not fucking here.
Okay. Is there any other way through?
Not from, not from what I could see. I mean,
Right.
maybe there's a way to scale the side of the ship and get through some window or something, but I'm not fucking risking that.
Is there any windows in this room?
In this one, no. This room seems to be sort of more in the center of the bow of the ship.
Did you happen to see whether or were on the ground or not?
That's a good fucking
Uh,
question.
I run out of the room and go check.
You run out of the room, find another room that has a mirror to the outside, and you look out, and you can see the shore. You are on land.
Okay. Yeah, we've landed.
Right.
Well, that means if we have to bail out of a window, it's not going to be a very long drop.
Yeah, what? Oh, fuck. Ugh. Yeah, I'm on board with it. Now that I know that I'm not gonna fucking die if I fall off.
Bailing out's
Or
not going to be hard in the first.
yeah.
It's a matter of what's going on here as to whether we'll go unnoticed.
Um, Ezekiel goes, so what do we want to try and do? Bust through a window or go through the door?
Uh,
A window will be more effort, but probably safer. By going through a door, we would be less likely to be noticed, assuming they're not watching the.
yeah. I'm down for either. The way I see it is going out the window and bailing. We're just getting out. Done and dusted. I'm just
Well,
curious as
I
to
would
what's on the
hope
other side
that
of the door.
no matter which way we choose to go, that we're still planning on helping the crew.
Yeah.
Well, yes, of course, but it would be hard if crew members are attacking crew members. Then who exactly are we helping?
Perhaps we should find our goblin captain.
Hmm. I didn't see a dead goblin there.
You did not. Just dead crew members.
Well, I didn't see his body, so Yeah,
Um,
I'm a for going for the door, making
Yeah.
sure everyone's alright.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that if we decided that it was for some reason better to go through the window, then I would suggest Ezekiel merely help me with the door, and I'll go through the door myself while everyone else goes around. But if we're all decided on going through the door, then that would be my preferred
All right.
decision.
Door it is. And he grabs the rest of his gear and heads towards it.
I'll lead everyone to the other door.
No worries.
Stay at the,
What was that, Sia?
I'll stay at the back, and I would like to have just action prepared, like a shield should somebody come up behind.
No worries. Um, um, Still, no one, no noise as you make your way through the ship towards the door leading to the deck. Um, Attempting to just a light test to see how heavy it is, and it does feel like there is something heavy on the door, stopping it from being at the very least pushed open. So I'm going to need if you're going to help him, Wessel, a strength check.
Uh, Nice. That is a fucking 5.
That's a what?
A 5.
5. Let me just read Ezekiel's character sheet. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry. All right. Excellent. He didn't roll bad. You and Ezekiel put in a shoulder to sort of like hopefully barge it open, and it does. At the very least, hit like you guys hit the door. The door hits whatever it is on the outside, and you feel it like loose enough where you guys can like heave it open. And as you do so, you are welcomed by the sight of the captain, sort of standing over the bodies of about 9 crewmates. He's got 2 rapiers in hand, and Anastasia sort of just behind him. Her white dress is covered in blood.
I nudge Finch.
Uh, Rikoshi calls out. He goes, "Ah, you're alive! Excellent."
What's going on?
Well, we had a bit of a problem, but it's been solved. Don't you worry.
Uh,
It doesn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of did. He said what was going on. I said there was a problem, but the problem's been solved.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Yeah, 'cause a lot of the crew are kind of dead.
Yeah, well, yeah, that tends to happen sometimes in our way of life. But don't worry, the rest of the crew uh, is out grabbing shit that we need to fix the ship.
Okay.
So where are we now?
I'd say we're halfway between Sherrod and Baganor.
How long will the remaining trip take?
It depends. Right, we can get this baby to fly back up in its default mechanical means, but it's going to be slower. The Arcanet works within the ship have been jeopardized, and the ingredients with which we need to fix it may or may not be found.
Okay. No, we can. Well, we have time to wait. I think not much time, and I feel that my hurry is not merely to make an appointment, but more so also to avoid pursuers. Since you now know who we are, truthfully and honestly, I don't feel like it's too much of a stretch to convince you that that would be the case.
No, hey, we live to serve, he says sarcastically. But, you know, I promised, I said, I'll take you to Ying Chuan. That's still in effect. You know, hey, look on the bright side. You don't have to pay as much with half the crew dead.
uh, well, you'll. I don't necessarily see that as a incredible upside. I would never be glad that your half your crew is dead.
Oh, I'm fucking glad. Traitors, mate.
Oh,
So it wasn't me.
Well, probably. Here. Check this out. And he gestures you guys to come over to a body he's walked over.
I'll walk over.
He sort of props up this hobgoblin with red, leathery skin. Wessel, it's the same gentleman you were talking to last night.
oh,
Um, and it's when you notice that he's not bleeding blood. He's bleeding a green-like ichor.
he's not going to say anything about talking to the guy. But he'll point to the blood. What's wrong with his blood?
Well, turns out we had some spies. Unfortunately, we picked up on our last trip, and he was one of them.
Oh.
He gets a dagger from his belt, slices it into the hobgoblin's forearm, drags it down, sort of like pulls it open, and you see that it's not flesh and bone; it's wood and veined iron. New and improved Warforge.
No fucking way we're in a Terminator storyline. This is sick. a Warforger. I don't think I've seen one.
I can't say that I've heard of them.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, they're Warforged, at least on this fucking, in the Arcosis and on this continent, are essentially very rare. They're a continent over. They have the whole thing that I really don't want to have time to get into. But they're a race of conscious beings made of metal and wood. But their creation is that they were made. And the Zaibatsu found a way to make them. The issue that they had, that it seems to have now been solved, is that Warforged, when created, no matter by who or how, they're given a spark of sort of life, created to give them consciousness, their own identity, to be their own people. It seems like, as he sort of like cuts into the chest and sort of like pulls it open, revealing sort of like a reinforced wooden sort of like metal chest itself. He goes, "Seems like they've found a way to subvert that."
Right. Do you mind if I have a closer look?
By all means.
And I'm just sort of going to search the body, and then afterward, like I kind of as two separate actions with two separate intents.
Yep.
I want to just search the body as best I can, and then examine the body as best I can.
All right. While you're doing that, anybody else? What are you guys wanting to do?
Just to jog my memory, the country that we're in currently, that's not the one run by the Saibatsu, is it?
Oh, Cougs, wave. Wave, wave, dude, wave!
No. Right now, you are in the Kingdom of the Khaganate, and that's not run by the Zabatsu.
Right. So Sia's gonna ask if, like, are the Warforged entirely Zaibatsu made, or
Yes and no. Like, as far as I'm aware of, right? If you see a Warforged in Narcosis, there's a strong chance that there's Zaibatsu made. It's gonna be hard to tell if you find a Warforged if they're foreign or homegrown.
right? In which case, Sia's just gonna watch Finch to see if he finds anything.
Ezekiel's just gonna go over the just look around and check the sort of like perimeter, feel like make sure everything's okay. Wessel, what would you like to do?
He's gonna like watch as Finch examines this thing because he would also like to know about these things.
All right. Finch, make a perception check.
I will do that. Cool. All right. Let me maybe use a shrewd investigator point here. That does include perception. Don't roll a 1, you asshole. Ah, yeah, 2 sarcastic asshole. That is good. Oh, fuck. I mean, it's still going to be a big number. It's just not going to be as fat as I want it to be. It'll be 21.
21. All right. First thing is that the skin on this hobgoblin, that's real hobgoblin skin. And that what the captain pretty much speaks is true is that there is a sort of person underneath the skin. There is a, like, he has been dressed up as and made to look like this person.
That's
Um,
freak.
Going just in regards to sort of like what you can see from the openings that the captain has made, it's very, very well done. The sort of craftsmanship made to sort of make something like this is really good.
Fuck.
I don't know what else you would like to be trying to find.
No, that's pretty much it. If that's all I get out of it, because I don't really know what I'm looking for. Finch hasn't seen one of these before. The idea of a fake human, fake person has never even sort of crossed his mind before. So more so looking at it because not because he's curious of what a Warforged is, but because he doesn't know what a Warforged is, he doesn't know what there would be to find. Maybe there's a rune etched on it somewhere that makes it work, and a rune that he can either remember for later, or a rune that gives him a clue as to something else that's going on. That's more so why he's looking.
With that train of thought, the sort of only sort of way you can't see anything with the openings made by the captain now. If you wanted to, if you wanted to be like, there might be something on him, a rune. If he's made inebriated, then surely there must be some sort of. It sounds like transmutation, maybe conjuration magic. You think there might be either arcane runes or a symbol on this thing's body, but to really get a look at it, it will need to be stripped of its flesh.
Right. I don't want to do that right now. I will merely ask if someone can help me. Not one of us, one of the crew members can help me pull the body back on board.
You're looking around, there are no other crew members. It is just you, your companions, Rikoshi and Anastasia, who seems to just be like sitting at sort of like on like a bench at the bow of the ship, sort of like nonchalantly whistling to herself.
Oh, well, I'll ask Rikoshi to help me pull the body back on board.
Yeah, I can do that. No worries. But he is the only one of that is Warforged. The rest of the crew are naturals.
Or is there a sort of test?
Yeah, I drove a blade into their skin, and if I felt something harder than bone, then they'd be Warforged.
Oh, okay. It's a crazy test. Where would you drive the what on their hands?
Look, safest way, which is has the greatest amount of the wood or metal, is the chest.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, they're dead anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, more so for the people that you test and are real, which is the rest of the crew, actually.
They're good.
Okay. Well, as long as they're good.
Anastasia says they're good, so they're good.
But I imagine that takes a little bit of time to pull them back on board. So if anyone was doing anything else, that would be the time to do it.
Got nothing else to do.
It's he helps you bring it on board. With the additional help of Ezekiel, who sort of finished looking around, just make sure everything's okay. Rikoshi goes. So, where do you want it? What do you want to do with it?
Well, I was just hoping to. I'm not going to touch it until either tomorrow or later on tonight. But maybe just somewhere where it can sort of sit out of the way. I obviously don't want the smell of blood to stink out the inside. So maybe somewhere with a window.
Well, none of the windows can be opened because it's part of the structural integrity of the ship.
Oh, right, yes.
How about we just tie him up to the mast?
Well, I don't know how that would quite look to someone who's looking at the ship from the outside.
What, from down on the ground?
No, from another airship. It's not crazy to think that there are other airships around. They see a hobgoblin strung up. We are in the Carganet. Probably not going to look too great.
You would be right. But it would be that you will find that the Rikoshi Reavers are one of only a handful of airship beholders.
What about a compromise? Do you have any empty barrels? Let's just stuff them in a barrel and keep that on the deck.
There should be an empty barrel or one or two down in the storage hold if you want to go get it.
Yeah, I'll go find an empty barrel. I'll roll it up here and we'll stuff them in.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
Yeah, you might want to. I was going to say, looking at you, the barrels you're going to need a big barrel. He's a big guy. You're going to need a little bit of help. At least with the barrel, it's going to be a bit heavy. Not saying you don't have the strength, Finch, but don't want you hurting your back.
No, that's
I
all right. I can
Can
do
I
some help.
insight check that it's the barrel that he wants, that he thinks he'll need help with?
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight check.
Oh, that's not good. 10.
He seems concerned about Finch's well-being. And he wouldn't be wrong. Like, this
That's
hobgoblins are a bit big. He would need a larger barrel.
That's enough for me. Yeah, I'm going.
All right. See ya.
I'll just follow along behind them. I mostly just want to keep my eye on everyone in the team just to make sure nothing happens to them
Yeah,
in the
no worries.
meantime.
Ezekiel's gonna tag along. Making your way down, led by Wessel, who has already been to the storage hold before. You guys get to the storage hold. The door is open. Stepping inside, it seems that towards the left and the back, it looks like to be a bunch of free and open barrels. The only thing is that, Wessel, you can't shake the feeling like you're being watched.
I would like to roll a perception.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, what the fuck? That's a 14.
14. Looking around, the sort of eyes from early morning you feel like might be around, but you can't seem to see them, or at the very least, they don't make an appearance. And nothing else within the storage room strikes you as insidious or odd.
Yeah, I'll just help.
Yeah. Moving up towards the barrels. It seems like there's a bunch of empty ones still that it appears that they haven't been filled yet with food or other items. You find there's all sort of stacked up against each other. It's not till you start to move one of the ones that you feel like would contain this hobgoblin that the barrel behind it is a bit lopsided. And as you pull the barrel that you want out of the way, you see why that barrel is lopsided. There is a body stuffed up behind it. So far, you can only sort of like see the legs and the lower torso. It is a crew member's sort of uniform. That they don't have a uniform, but it matches the aesthetic of the other crew members.
Has this happened before?
Can we work out how he died? How
You
long
probably
ago?
could if you move the other barrel.
Yeah,
All right.
I do.
You move the other barrel like off the body of this person, and it looks like the gentleman you were talking to before you went to bed, Wessel.
Oh. Oh, shit.
You see that he has a hole punched through his chest.
Does he seem like he's been dead long?
No, it does not seem like he's been dead long.
I was talking to this guy before going to bed last night. I kept my mouth shut because I thought it was he was one of them thingies the whole time. But if this is the real one, how fucking easy is it for these Warforged to get their little skin disguise?
You notice that not is it just that he has a hole punched through his chest. The hole looks very clean. Doesn't look like there's been any sort of like roughness to it. Like a clean circular hole where his heart should be.
Can can I check if the heart's still there?
Yeah, you can, but the heart's not.
Mm,
Maybe we'll find it in the fake, the copy.
yeah,
Uh,
maybe that's how they do it. Maybe they steal someone's heart, chuck it in themselves, and they grow their skin into the person they took the heart from.
as you get up from sort of looking at the body, and you sort of like turn around to sort of like face your companions in a way, that feeling of being watched kicks back in, Wessel, and then you see on the other side of the storage hold, two glowing, very faint glowing red eyes. But at a like a clearer view, they look like eyes, but they now look like two small glowing red rocks of some kind, gems of some kind.
Shit. He's not gonna react. And he's just gonna whisper to whoever he's closest to, but without actually moving. What the fuck, Brandon? Without actually moving.
That was creepy.
Yeah. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but we're being watched from over there. And he's gonna gently nod his head in the direction. Don't look, but if anyone can do anything to dissuade them,
What?
and, and fucking Wessel throws one of his normal punch daggers at the red eyes.
All right. You throw the punch dagger. It just skirts off one of the eyes, and it sort of flings off the sort of fucking. I've forgotten simple words now. Fuck me.
Wall, crate, barrel.
Shelf.
Oh,
It dings. You hit it, essentially dinging off the shelf, and then it just sort of hits the wall, bounces, and sort of like rolls on the ground a little bit. But doing so, the light fades from them.
I sprint over to where they were with my special punch daggers drawn.
Yeah. And there's nothing really there. It seems like they were left behind.
There's nothing here?
No, it was just the two red glowing sort of rocks.
So the rock's still there?
One of them still is on the shelf. The other
Okay.
one is on the floor. But they no longer have the glow. They now look like just brown rocks.
What was that about?
These. I don't know if those things have glowy eyes or something. Bad things have glowy eyes. And I thought these were eyes. And he picks up his punch dagger and inspects the rocks.
Yeah. You gonna pick it up?
I don't want to anymore, but I will because I'm already committed.
All right. You pick the one on the ground up, and you see that it very much looks like the shape of an eye. A very spherical, a bit jagged. But there is a small sort of graving at the back of it. You think? Looks like a symbol of some kind that you've never seen before.
What do you make of this, Finch? We'll see. I don't know. There's something carved in the back of this.
Can I examine it?
Yeah, if he's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
What do I'm just going to give it a sort of cursory look before I pass it to Sia, just because I think instinctively Finch kind of wants to be dismissive of it, but also at this point, it's probably better safe than sorry to maybe assume that if Wessel thought they were eyes, maybe someone can see through them. But sort of at the surface level, Finch sort of feels a bit dismissive about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's fine, kind of shit.
You take it off off Wessel, and it does have a small engraving on like one side of this sort of rough, ragged, spherical rock. The engraving sort of looks like a maybe arcane, but it's nothing you've ever seen before, and you don't have much experience with the arcane anyway, so it's hard to tell.
Sia will have a closer look.
All right.
Yeah, I'll hand it off.
You hand it to Sia. Sia, you do pick up on it, looking at it, that it is magical in nature.
Mhm.
And the engraving on the back, though foreign, does have, at the very least, some similarities to those engravings of magic in the transmutation school.
Right, so magic item and looks like it could potentially be transmutation.
But apart
Are there
from
any
that,
others that you've come across on the ship?
I think there was another one up here, and we'll go grab it.
and it's sort of basically the exact same. A brown, dark brownish, rugged spherical rock with an engraving on the back of it.
Well, we could try asking the captain about it.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, may as well.
Alright, well, do we have the barrel that we want?
Ezekiel goes, I still have the barrel, yes.
Might
But
as
what
well
are we
try.
going to do with the gentleman on the floor? Do we
Is there any-
inform the captain or do we bring him along?
Probably be best to tell someone about it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. If we gotta talk to the captain anyway, we might as well tell him about the body.
Especially if we want to keep them around as our way of navigating New Arcosis.
Yes, I think the captain has been very generous, at least in telling him the truth.
Mm.
Didn't see anything wrong with continuing to do so. He seems very, very welcoming of our circumstance. Well, I've got the barrel, so I guess let's go.
Yes.
And you guys come back up to the deck, where you see the captain is dragging the last of the bodies on the deck off it. He goes, "Ah, you got the barrel. Excellent. Throw him in."
We did also find another body.
All right.
It was stuffed behind the barrel. Didn't look like it really died the same way as the others.
He was missing his heart.
Well, that's kind of spooky. Uh, did you guys know him?
I spoke to him last night, actually.
That might raise some questions.
Yeah. And it didn't seem like the dude had been dead for long.
Uh, well, another mystery to solve, I guess.
You're very casual about this whole ordeal.
Darling, I am like 55. I've got 30 more years.
I get the feeling that this happens a lot as well.
No, this is the first time this has ever happened.
Oh.
But I've seen shit. And I've seen some heavy things. And today, there's nothing. God knows it's a fucking picnic for her. And he thumb points to Anastasia, who's sort of drinking some tea at the bow of the ship.
Would there be a way we can tell how long ago your crew member was killed? When would the construct or whatever we're calling it, when would it have gotten on board?
No idea. I mean,
Yes.
in regards to speaking to the dead, I got nothing. I mean, but if you say he was still talking, at the very least this morning, then, you know, between your last speaking to him and then waking up, he was killed and stuffed behind some barrels.
Just get this cleaned up and over with.
Quite right.
Not answering any questions at the moment.
You guys can put the body in the barrel. I've done a bit of work already, and I think I need a nice drink. And with that, he nods at you guys and walks to the bow of the ship and has a cup of drink with Anastasia. You guys place the body, the barrel next to the body, and then Wessel and Ezekiel heft the body into the barrel. See, you can't help but notice that every now and then you feel like you're being like stared at by Anastasia.
I'm gonna fully ignore her.
Excellent.
Oh,
Yo, what was that?
Yeah, doo-doo. Sound effects of the ship.
Oh, it's kind of new.
Ezekiel goes, so do we just, are we going to leave him in the barrel here, or are we going to move the barrel further into the ship?
no, leave the barrel on deck. It was me and the captain compromising on some stuff.
Right. Are you going to need any more help with this, or are you going to be good?
No, we should be good for now. I think we'll just wait for everyone to. I'm not sure how long we want to be tarrying here for, but I think we should let the crew make the repairs they need to. They said that we are still able to leave, but that they need to repair a specific piece of the ship.
Yes, didn't he say that it could still fly, but very slowly? Something about the crew looking for items, for arcane veins or whatnot?
Yes, which I don't have much experience with, so I don't think I could help
Well,
even
I
if
don't think any of us have much experience. This is the first time, really, that we've ever been in, not just a ship, but a ship that flies.
Well, I'm sure living in a world that now has flying ships doesn't prevent one from having experience with rocks.
Fair enough.
Sia? Wessel? Anyone leading an alternative secret life of a geologist?
No.
Then I think we may just have to wait for the crew's return or for our vibes to run out.
Got a hornet to kill real quick.
Getting gassed. Look out.
Die, you motherfucker. There you go.
Not long later, the sort of like the rest of the crew make their way back to the ship, and the ship starts to lift off from the beach. A little bit later, see some of the crew come up to you, and they go, Harold Seer, I just want to say it was a lovely sermon that you gave to us last night. And you can count at least me and my brother here. Your first followers.
Sorry, a lot has been happening again. What was that?
We're just saying that your sermon from last night, me and my brother were it. We're believers of what you spout.
Very glad that you believed. What was your favorite part?
The bit that struck to me was when you told the story of a friend that was lost to you. Her name was Grella. And that the hope that you would once see her again is what sort of thrives your life's light. And that through hope, a great many things are possible.
Of course. You need only be able to find it in your doctor's.
The other gentlemen, both bugbears, probably late teens. The other one like moves into the side and he goes, I wasn't really into any of that hope stuff, but what you said about the failings of forgiveness and that the justice that comes swiftly that follows, that got to me.
I'm glad to hear.
Truly, if forgiveness is not applicable, then their death must soon follow. Praise be to Kishoten. And with that, they both sort of like nod their heads to you and walk away.
Are we more or less alone?
As of right now, yeah.
I'd like to explain what happened to everyone else.
Explain away.
Well, we drank tea with the lady, and then next thing I know, I was back in the past, or at least in the memory of the past, that I don't remember how that actually happened, but I get the feeling that's actually what happened. All the while, my body was giving the sermon, and I wasn't actually the one giving the sermon. So
Huh.
I have no idea what the fuck's happened or what I've said to these people.
Right.
Problem
Wait,
is that I don't know.
what? Can you give me a specific from this past that you don't remember?
Well,
What?
in the
What was?
past, my friend and I, we went to one last dungeon delving attempt, and we went into a mine that happened to be just a dead end with nothing there. That's how I remember it. But in this memory, we went in and there was this entire... I don't know if it was like teleported to another realm or teleported just to another underground cave or something, but there were watches and there were people building giant jade crystals. I don't remember any of that, but I feel like that's what happened. And maybe my memory had changed.
Who would want to change your memory?
I don't know.
I could check for you.
You could check.
Yeah.
I mean, go for it if you would like, but make sure you keep yourself safe in doing so.
I will use my sight. I will
Yep.
think of Sia focusing on the past, focusing on what she said about a cavern full of jade.
All right. Once again, your eyes go white and your vision darkens. And you feel your essence being thrust back in time. And you feel like it's going back quite a way. And you appear. At least you feel like you've just appeared in this cavern, and the cavern that she spoke of, you can see it is true. This cavern full of jade, this cavern that you have already been to. You can feel it. You strangely know it. This is a place that you, Finch, have been to before. The only other discernible thing in this cavern is one very large, floating, jade-like crystal. And within that crystal you see a shadow. And as soon as you feel like the shadow senses your whereabouts, strangely, horrifically, that you can feel someone see you, the vision ends.
Well, uh, sorry, give me a second. Was there a large jade crystal sort of suspended in the air in this new memory that you had?
Yes.
Then I can tell you that that part, at least, is true. That place exists. It, at the very least, is not quite as simple as a mere hallucination. I will say, though, strangely, I didn't see you in my vision. I only saw the floating jade crystal and some of the jade cavern, and a shape inside of the crystal. And it kind of threw me for a second because I felt like it saw me, which should be impossible. Gosh, unless it was a... Well,
Just off of Sia's memory, does she remember which group was identified to be doing this?
She does not. You can remember that the only discernible feature of these potential cultists would be probably a good guess you could go on. The only discernible thing that they have on them was the fact that they wear a large emblem of a dead tree, but the tree isn't dead like the Blackened Sun. The tree is made up of flesh.
oh yeah, the flesh tree. That's
Right. Yeah, Sia will describe that as well.
Oh, okay. Another tree faction, huh? Well, I can't say that I am familiar with them, but another thing, when I look into the future or the past, I can't really tell how far or how far forward or back I went, unless I'm seeing something from the present, which of course is something that's happening right at that moment. But I do feel myself move through, and I I just thought I would say that when I went back to that cavern, it did feel like I went quite a long way.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what that means just yet.
I'm just wondering if you're perhaps even more displaced than we are.
I think I might be. But I haven't been able to confirm that just yet. Which, out of character, is just she hasn't come to terms with it yet. Anyways. Are we just leaving a barrel here and then talking out on the deck?
No, I say you guys would have sort of you've left the barrel on the deck, yes.
Yeah,
But you
I
guys
think
would
we
have
sort of
moved,
wandered back inside, and
Yeah,
we
wandered
got
back
stopped by
inside.
those two blokes.
Yeah. And then once you guys sort of felt like you were free, or in my mind, I felt like you guys would have found like a sort of like a spare empty room, closed the door, and had this chat.
Right. Well, Sia's just gonna waste time, probably just going through some things in a bag or whatever.
Everybody else?
I am probably just going to. You know what? I'm going to finally look in this heavy pouch that I took. I snatched it off Kashotan when she was corrupted.
You did indeed.
I swiped something. I only wrote it down as heavy pouch, parentheses, question mark, question mark. I keep forgetting to look into it.
All right, you're going to do that. Wessel and Ezekiel. Barrel's on the deck still. Everyone's sort of lowering to the ship in a spare room that you guys have found. All right, Wessel.
Yeah, I'll wait. So the whole Warforged thing, it was made out as it was just that one guy that was a Warforged, or was it a
Yes.
group?
The captain has said that the sort of a Warforged doppelganger was the only one, and that all the other dead bodies were actual people. And that the rest of the crew is, by his words, they're okay.
Okay. I'll also just wait out then.
Yep. You guys all feel sort of like the ship isn't moving as fast as it used to. So it seems that mechanically the ship has been repaired, but it is going at a much slower pace. But you are on the move again. All right, Finch. Look inside this pouch, eh?
Yep.
I'm going to go back to where I wrote the pouch down because I forgot you had it. All right. Inside the pouch, you find a myriad of idols and sort of like wooden figurines. These take the shape of various sort of Fey-like individuals, but you very much feel like these are keepsakes. These are childhood toys. Apart from that, you find some pictures that have been scrolled on, or paper that's been scrolled on in a language that you have no idea, unfortunately. At least 5 pages, all full. It doesn't look like it's erratic in nature that you can make out, but there's quite a lot here. Certain words are underlined, or certain you think words are heavily underlined, and the only other thing that you sort of haven't touched yet is a black crystal.
A black crystal.
Yes.
Does it look like a, let's say, valuable gem, or does it look like something a little more worthy of caution?
The aesthetic of the gem is very similar to the red crystals that you have seen before, particularly those used by back at Tianjin, are those that sort of use them to kill themselves.
Right.
Um, unsure as to what it does, but it's definitely valuable. But it's not along the lines of a warlord gem.
Right. I'll leave it in there for now.
All right.
I mean, I'll leave all that shit in there, honestly. I'll look at it at a later date, especially the writing.
And with that, carrying on later into the day, the captain comes and finds you and goes, look, Finch, whatever you want to do to our dead Warforged fellow, you might want to do it quick. He's rusting real bad.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I bring him into the interrogation room?
Yeah, sure, by all means. I kind of hurt me back before, so you'll have to carry the barrels yourself.
That's okay. It shouldn't be too hard to roll it down a couple stairs and up a few hallways.
The barrel doesn't have a lid, and I would very much like you not to roll it and to carry it. The body has started to melt.
Oh. Well, let me go find Ezekiel then. Not unless you've got a couple of fellows who are not got much to do.
Unfortunately not. Now that we're down half the crew, now everyone's got something to do, you know what I mean?
All right. And I'll go and look for Ezekiel.
You walk off, and while you're doing that, the captain is going to find Sia. But you
Can I
managed
help
to
you?
find Ezekiel first.
The barrel is the body inside that barrel is starting to go a bit crazy. So I think I might do my examination now, and then we'll just toss the remains overboard afterwards. Yes. I think it would just be better if we did it somewhere isolated. So we're going to bring it to the interrogation room, which is where we first got put up in.
And with that, Ezekiel and Finch make their way towards the deck to grab the barrel to bring it down. Sia.
Mhm.
The captain comes up to you and he goes, "Hey, can we talk privately for a second?"
Sure.
Excellent. And he gets you to follow him to his chamber. He opens the door, and it is very bare bones. Besides a very extravagant-looking bed filled with decorations of that you now pick up of the Feywild. As you step inside, he closes the door behind you and he goes, "I just need to ask. Whatever you said at that sermon last night,
Yeah.
it wasn't good."
I had a feeling that was the case. Right. Any chance you could tell me what I said?
That I can't really help you with, but I didn't want to speak of it in front of your compatriots just in case the seeds of doubt planted themselves in their mind. Anastasia said that you were not of the sound mind when you did that sermon, so I'm hesitant to guess that something else was going wrong with you. But it wasn't just because there was an Warforged spy on the deck. a lot of the men are still faithful to the 8 emperors. And most of those men are now dead. My guess is that the Warforged kicked up a stink about a new religion taking place on the ship, and, you know, things get crazy.
Look, something happened when I did that sermon. I don't know what your relationship with the lady is.
Ah, she's my wife.
Very well. But I will say that I mean no disrespect to the relationship you have, but I personally don't trust her.
Sia,
And
I can understand that statement. Not many do, particularly her siblings. She is very much the black sheep of the family.
right. Well, thank you for letting me.
This was just a courtesy call to let you know that, at least make you aware.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
No worries. Before you go, would you like a drink?
No, thank you.
Fuck. Oh my god.
No worries. And with that, he opens the door to allow you to leave.
All right.
That was a very fast no thank you. That was good timing. I was about to drink too.
Ezekiel and Finch, you bring the barrel to the interrogation room. It sounds disgusting. The sounds of like sloshing, and the skin has started to sort of dissolve and turn into like a chunky soup. And you can see that the wood and the metal on the Warforge now are more apparent, thanks to the flesh falling off. Is starting to both rot and rust.
Yes. We'll tip him out in the as far away from the door as possible.
Yeah, sort of like in the diagonal corner of where the door is. It just sort of you tip the barrel over, the bodies and the soup sort of sloshes out. You hear like the thud of the body hitting the floor, and the sort of like the swish back of the soup itself.
I just want to say this right now. I'm not mopping any of that up. They could have easily just drained it over the side, but
And now you can sort of properly see this Warforged character. To fit within the skin of his disguise, one would say, the figure is slender. It's smaller. In a way, it might look that of a large child, or at least one's in its teens, to be able to fit inside the body of an adult man. But you see that in its eye sockets are 2 brown rocks. And they do kind of look familiar.
who had them in the end? The ones from the storage room?
I think I gave them to Sia.
Sia would have given them back to Westwell.
Oh. Well, then I'll pull them out and just kind of hold them next to the head That looks familiar.
And they do, strangely enough, look very familiar. At least by the look of them, they look familiar.
Like familiar as in perhaps we've seen these eyes in someone before.
Familiar just in regards to the eyes that were found in the storage hold, to the eyes within the sockets of this Warforged.
Yeah, I'm holding them. Nick. I'm holding them side by side.
No, that's all right.
All right, Wes.
Well-
Finch, what would we like to do with this corpse?
I want to examine every single inch of it, looking for anything really.
Yep.
Whether it's like I was saying before, yeah, clues that I might be able to use now, or things that I might be able to remember for later.
All right.
Literally anything.
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Oh, bitch. That's bad. I'm gonna roll
Actually,
a shrewd
can
investigative.
you roll that with advantage?
All right.
I would like to imagine, at the very least, either Wessel, Sia, and Ezekiel, or all three, or two, sort of giving a compulsory help.
Right.
Hey, what's that? You missed a spot.
This is going to be a very fat number. That 30.
All right. It is built finely and well, even through the starting of rust and rot throughout its body. A sort of constructed decay that would sort of normally be found, at least on a organic body. But it is doing it at a very fast rate. You find that on the outside of it, turning it around and having a look and peering through it, the outer casing of this Warforged bears no markings. So that only leaves that there would be markings on the inside. If this is a constructed a being, then there is the chance that, like pottery, there is nothing on the inside. And so, harkening back to sort of the old pottery days that you used to do, looking at sort of how this thing was created, how was it crafted, the sort of weak points on it structurally, besides the fact of it being sort of falling apart at the seams. And you find that at the chest there is a sort of what looked like maybe structural decay now appears to be a designed like openable chest running through the seam, and you feel a sort of bump and groove, like a sort of a messaging or a form of braille that then involuntarily opens the chest up. And as it does so, you see in this sort of deeper compartment of this sort of empty chest cavity, you see the heart of what could only be the person from the storage hold. The heart is in perfect condition. The heart is still pumping.
It's still pumping.
Yes. You see that as the heart pumps, blood that would normally be supplied from parts of the body to it no longer existing, but you do see not really attached to it physically, but sort of like ethereally, you see sort of runic veins stretching from the heart, where the arteries would be, to like sigils in the chest, as to where sort of organic arteries would be. You get the feeling like it's not dead yet. If the heart is still pumping, there's a chance that the creators thought that it could still be used, maybe. But why is the body decaying so fast? A thought comes up in your mind that maybe the reason the body is decaying so fast is one to eliminate evidence. If the captain says is true, a sort of spy, then if the spy is killed, then how do they go about removing the evidence without making a scene about it?
The heart, is it still attached to the inside?
Yeah. Strangely enough, it doesn't appear to be physically attached. It physically just like placed in it, and even sort of like moving the body around a bit. The heart sort of doesn't really move. The ethereal connections attached to it are to sort of the warforged like wooden arteries. As sort of like it's not really pumping blood, but pumping a form of life essence into it.
Like a fuel.
Yes.
These sigils, I can see them.
Yes, you can see the sigils.
I would
Dawn's
like to
smiling.
copy them into my art book that I still have. Copy each one that I see, unless they're all the same. And then try to pull the heart out.
All right. You copy the sigils into your book. It's very unique in their design. And then you go to pull the heart out. And it's so strange to grab something that isn't connected to anything, to then feel resistance on pulling it. But with enough tug, you pull it out, and at the same time, the Warforge's eyes light up, and a voice escapes its non-moving lips. There is no sort of a mouth on this Warforged, but a voice escapes. And to Wessel, it is a very, very familiar sounding voice of a woman in her late 60s, maybe. Before it dies. And as the heart is fully yanked out of the torso, the rot and the corrosion of the metal fully dissolves it. Wessel, you are shocked to hear your mother's voice escape this Warforged.
Yeah, he's got his ears down and he looks fucking shocked as shit. He doesn't know what to say.
Finch,
Was that a disembodied voice, or was that the fucking Warforged briefly like fucking struggling? Because if it was a disembodied voice, I think it's possible that I probably still would have pulled the heart out before I thought about it, but if that was the Warforged fucking briefly just sitting up being like, fucking help! I think I would have let the heart go.
It's even with that high on that 30, it is hard to tell. It sounded like it came from the Warforged, but this is something you've never seen or interacted with before, and thus have no sort of nothing to fall back on. But the heart in your hand, Finch, it slowly starts to rot.
Right. That's fine. outside of that, anything else of note? I think maybe the it's wooden and metal, right? Where is all the metal concentrated, and where is all the wood concentrated?
So essentially, before it is now turned into like a puddle of like a strange liquid. The body was. It looks like the majority of it was wooden, with metal sort of reinforcing the sort of elbows, shoulders, the connecting points of it. The
Right.
where on a human body where the bones have a gap. But the metal also was more visible around at least the chest area and the sort of skull, which is no longer visible. There's now just a giant pool of wet, sort of soupy blood, and you get smells of sap and iron and something oily. But you can surmise, Finch, that unfortunately, if you hadn't have pulled the heart out, you might have been able to learn more.
I will. Well, let's start cleaning this up. It's.
Are the eyes still intact?
They are not.
Hmm.
And neither is the ones that in your possession.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, so they were connected somehow.
Is there any part that doesn't look like it's rotting?
The rotting has stopped. It is now just a fucked looking soup.
Well, I suppose we better get some buckets.
Yeah.
You guys hear a knock on the door before it enters, and you see the captain. He goes, "Is everything? Holy shit!"
Well, he's all gone now, so we're probably going to need some buckets if you have any.
Yeah, I'll get some of the boys to clean it up.
Well, I'll help. Just let me come with.
Right. And he goes and finds some of the crew. They go and collect some sort of mops and buckets, and they come back to start mopping up the soup.
And I'll help him out for however long that takes.
It takes a little while, and then the captain goes, "So, did you find anything useful?"
Well, mostly all of the useful stuff we already found when he was found him out with you. I merely wanted to look at it just so that I knew what was the deal with these Warforged. But only a few things. Mostly just how they worked. Just in case we ever come across another one, we might be more prepared.
Yeah. And do you think you're going to be prepared?
Only a little.
Well, it's better than none.
But we might have at least a little more of a foundation if we run into whoever or maybe whatever makes these things.
Yeah, it's definitely something, isn't it?
How common are these?
Look, Finch, I could not tell you. Um,
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you to see a wooden metal robot man inside of a crew member of yours?
uh, I'd say I was a bit surprised. There
Only a
were
bit.
rumors of vague rumors of fucking Warforged looking like people. That is new. Warforged themselves, you can find them patrolling the streets in the Eight Crowns, but they look like
Right.
Warforged.
So Warforged being maybe more of a Zaibatsu thing.
Like I've met Warforged that weren't Zaibatsu made, and they are a good people. Um, Not very well. They are actually. They're extremely religious. Those guys. Um, if you think you're going to fight or meet up a Warforged, and it looks like a Warforged, and it sounds like a Warforged, but you're unsure, I think the easiest thing to know is to ask it a couple of questions, mainly about where they think they came from, their original creators, religious stuff. They're all about that. Because the world, at least in my experience, but now this is changing. The Warforged from the Eight Crowns are very controlled, short in their responses. Like they've been encoded with a vocabulary that is small and controllable.
Well, good to know. They can't lie or something?
Uh, yeah, they could. I was never. I didn't get close to the programs in their creation, and thus I can only tell you with what I have personally dealt with and what I have heard.
All
Do
right.
they take on the memories of whoever they take over?
I don't know.
Was
This
uh,
is this is new to me.
hmm,
I mean, if they're looking like him and they're possibly sounding like him, then maybe they have got access to their memories, or I, eight knows, eight knows.
damn, Mikey's having a family gathering. He's won at life, man.
Um, Look, Finch, if you don't mind, maybe we can talk about this a little bit more later. If you'd like to swing by my cabin for a drink.
Well, I was pretty much done there, to be honest. Now that this is all cleaned up, I think I'm just going to see what my companions are up to.
All right then. Well, if you do, um, I'll be up for a little bit more time. And with that, he nods and walks away.
I'll be heading back to the room.
And your companions are still there.
If there's nothing you guys want to talk about at the moment, I think Sia's gonna go try and find what was her name, Anastasia.
Anastasia?
Yeah.
Group, was there anything that you guys wanted to divulge or discuss in the intermedium?
No.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right then. And with that, the group sort of goes to do its own separate things. See ya. You find Anastasia on the deck.
Can we talk somewhere?
I mean, we can talk perfectly fine here.
Privately?
Fine, we can go towards my room and we can speak there. Is that private enough?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. And with that, she gets up from her little table, and following her towards her room, which is essentially the captain's cabin. There inside, you see the captain, who is fixing himself up a drink, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, ladies, I'll get out of your way."
Thank you.
And he leaves, closes the door behind him. She sits down at the table that you guys sat down at before, and she starts pouring drinks. So, what would you like to talk about?
What's in those drinks?
Well, a secret recipe, one might say.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you enjoy them? Would you like another?
No, thank
Your loss, I'd say.
Right. Did you show that memory on purpose?
Did I show you that memory? I don't know what you're on about. I don't have the powers to show people memories.
Or can you tell me what I said during?
Oh, you said a great many things, Sia. You said that through Kishoten and Alvina, that a great many things are possible, that hope and forgiveness are the two pillars of society that which we can all rally behind. And then you kind of went off onto a very violent spiel and rant about how those that had wronged you do not deserve forgiveness, and that not just their deaths, but the deaths of their friends and family was the only answer. I thought that was very wonderful.
You thought that was
Well, I'd say a great many others thought that as well. You did get that sort of standing applause. It seemed everybody was on board. But I guess I was wrong. The mind is such a fickle thing.
well. That's all I wanted to ask you. Goodbye.
No worries. And you leave. Standing outside in the hallway is the captain, just sort of like kicking his feet. He goes, "Oh, it's finished! All right then." And then he goes back inside the room.
Sia's just gonna go back to the others. There's no point trying to discuss it with her.
All right. Wessel, what are we thinking?
He's just still kind of freaked out, trying to work out that voice shit. Yeah, Fedge.
Yes.
I need to be honest here. I'm a little freaked out. The screaming voice from the Warforged thing, that was my ma.
That was your mother.
That her voice, at least. And I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything. But why was her voice in that? Did we just kill my ma? Again?
Well,
Don't
what
fucking
did your
Goose.
what
Okay.
did your mother do?
Well, as far as I knew, we just had a nice little cottage. We didn't really do much except for what she would sell herbs and spices and stuff that she grew in her little garden, and we just got by with that, as far as I'm aware. But when we were in the fuck, was it the labyrinth? I think
Yep.
when we were in the labyrinth, I started having dreams and visions and shit about um. I think she had a second life or something.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what to do about that. I'll pull out the pages where I copied down all the sigils.
Yep.
Do you perhaps recognize any of these?
Do I recognize any of them?
You recognize one.
I point to whichever one that is.
It is a diamond-shaped, like sort of like 3D, like diamond, but it has a sort of spiked crown around the top of it, and you have seen that before. That, now looking at it, brings back to when you were having those memories, sort of your past. Not just yours, but your mother's past. Not just yours, your mother's past, but that figure, the gentleman you have been chasing when he was inside your mother's house after her death, inside a compartment of the cupboard that you didn't know exist, when he pulled out a crown. And on that crown was that emblem.
I've seen that one. I think I remember the man who I've been after. He was in our house after my ma died, and he pulled something out of a cupboard. I think it was a crown, and it had that. It was like that.
So she's dead, though.
That's why I'm so fucking confused. She was dead and buried long ago, and now I'm hearing her voice in a fucking robot. A Warforged. Don't know what a robot is.
Well, maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't kill your mother. Maybe it's possible that it's some sort of copy of her somehow. It's possible that maybe she's imprisoned somewhere.
I want to think that she's still alive, but I can't get my hopes up.
Well, I wasn't suggesting
if
that she was still alive. I was suggesting that maybe she her spirit exists. It's in some way that controls these Warforged. I don't know enough about Warforged themselves to know how they function, but when I heard that, it did remind me a little bit of, well, not Holy, but the Labyrinth with the the lady of the Labyrinth sort of being able to connect to any part. If there's a crown with this symbol on it, maybe it controls them somehow. Maybe her spirit is in that. Did you know this man?
No, I think he visited us one day, and that was the first time I think I saw him. And then after a bit, Ma died, and then after another little bit, he came to the house, and then since then I've just been following him. I I don't even
This
think
is
I
the
know his
person you're
name.
after.
Yeah. I don't even think I know his fucking name.
Well, I wonder what the 24 or so years has done for him.
I don't know either. I kind of hope he's fucking dead, but at the same time, yeah.
I'll make a copy of those sigils that I have, and I'll
Yep.
give them to Wessel. And I'll just be like, if for whatever reason we ever get split, it's probably a good idea if you have these,
Oh,
if
thank
they're
you.
connected to your mum.
He's gonna fold up the piece of paper and put it in his bag. Actually, no, he's gonna put it in a pocket in his jacket.
As you go to put in your bag, Wessel, and then sort of, now I'll put it in my jacket. It's then that you realize, still within your possession, a very large onyx crystal.
Is there something else, or is it still the dodecahedron?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Oh, pull that out when I put the paper away. I forgot I still had this. You think it's worth anything?
Where did you get that?
The labyrinth. It's a bit hazy because we were kind of fighting for our lives at the time, but it was when we were fighting alongside those dudes, and there was that big ugly flesh thing with the maggots and stuff, and there was that one bastard up the back flinging spells at us.
Okay, what, he had it and you took it off him?
Yeah,
Right. Do you know what it is?
uh, I got no idea, and I'll like pass it to
No,
Finch
I
if he
don't
wants to
take
have a
it. I
look.
don't take it.
Okay.
No, that's. Oh, I also found some, but I haven't touched it. It kind of reminds me of the red crystals that explode, but maybe uh, either a different variant or perhaps uh, disarmed, for a lack of a better word.
I hope this doesn't fucking explode. I'm carrying it around with me.
You have been carrying it around with you, and then through the sort of your ordeals within the labyrinth since having it, but nothing has really happened to it.
Well, if it doesn't do anything, even then, a nice wee thing, it could be a nice souvenir when all this blows over. If it
Uh,
blows over.
maybe. I'm just hoping it's not simply a case of it being inactive, waiting to be reactivated. If that is what it
Oh.
is. But then why would there be so much of it in the labyrinth? The piece that I have, I got from Kashotan.
One way or another, though, even if that is the case, it must be important and better to have it with us than someone who wants it for bad things.
Well, in any case, I think you can rest easy on the Warforged having your mother's voice. I think that no matter what that was, it's probably not bad news for you.
I I just hope it's another one of those tricks. I don't know if anyone else had something happen in the labyrinth, but I was often almost tricked about doing something stupid because any uh, air quotes because my ma told me to.
You heard your mother in the labyrinth.
Yeah, but I'm like
When?
95. Like I'm pretty sure one of the times it's when we're trying to fix the beacon. Uh, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that was a trick. And then I think I think it happened again when we had that big fight, and there was that weird, wacky clone of me following me around, and we had to kill those tentacles and stuff.
I would double check with the others because I heard voices trying to trick me. I can't say I heard anything that was familiar though. Maybe I would check with others to see if they also heard voices from their past. But I heard her real voice. I didn't hear any person from my admittedly limited past.
Ezekiel, because he did just speak to us. Mm.
Because if we all just heard a regular voice and you heard your mother specifically,
Uh,
well,
it had
maybe once. When did you hear that?
well, they're trying to stop us from fixing the beacon and all that. So, and Fitch, you said you have a very limited past. So maybe that they've found it hard to find something to anchor you to. So that they decided to play on try to make you more stronger or something. I don't know what it would be for you, but for us, maybe it was
No, the beacon makes
playing their
sense.
emotions.
It was the other time that you said you heard your mother. I think the beacon, there was trickery going on all sides. Where you were hearing voices, I was seeing things.
Oh,
Wessel, the time that it involved the only other time that sort of involved your mother was in regards to the ritual to bring Alvina.
ah,
Yeah, that's right.
oh,
I know it was something to do with the gods, but I couldn't remember whether it was right before that music box opened or if it was sometime earlier.
no, I'll relay that.
Well, did you hear your mother or someone else when we were doing the ritual, Ezekiel? Is Sia back by this point?
Yes.
And what about you, Sia? Did you hear any voices from your past at the ritual?
Not really during the ritual. Mostly just when we first entered the place and you were all in your memories.
I think it's possible that maybe something is going on with your mother.
Oh, jeez. Uh, I don't know what to think.
Well, now you have those pages. We have this diamond symbol. I'm sure we'll stumble across something like this once we head back up towards the north. It might be far down on the list, but we are still planning on trying to find Danzok after we're done in Yinchuan.
Yeah. Right now, there's really only the fuck. Oh, that was a dog. Yeah, we really only have theories and stuff right now. There's not really enough to act on for this anyway, so we may as well just keep going our original course. Maybe we'll bump into more Warforged and like might be able to dissect
Yeah.
another one, and maybe
That's
it
all
won't
I'm
go
trying to say.
black-eyed.
There's no need to fuss about it right now, Wessel. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
You feel the ship shake, and then you feel it move faster.
I don't know.
Oh, is that the repairs done?
Whistle's gonna go up to the deck and see what's going on.
You come up to the deck. There's only one crew member out there that's sort of like swabbing the deck, still getting rid of the blood out of the deck. But looking out over the edge of the ship, the clouds and the water, it feels like it's now moving pretty fast to speeds before the attack on the ship.
Um, why are we going so fast? I'm not complaining. I'm just the random speed increase. I'm asking the other dude mopping.
Well, uh, uh, the ship got fixed.
Okay, just Thank God, just checking. Like, I don't know if there's like pirates that are up in the air or anything, and we're trying to outrun them, or yeah.
Mate, if there was another ship coming after us, you think I'd be fucking nonchalantly here mopping up dried blood?
Oh, you never know. You might have just give it up. I don't know.
I can't give up, mate. I got things to fucking live for. I got shit to pay. Sure.
I feel like Wessel should get inspired by that. Oh no, he's smoked.
Nine? You know, man's got shit to live for.
Gots to get paid.
Hey, look, if you're not doing anything before hitting the sack, Wessel, do you want to accompany me and the rest of the crew for another sermon?
This one set up.
I got nothing better to do, I suppose.
Excellent, much appreciated. And with that, he just continues to mop the deck.
Are others invited as well?
Oh yeah, mate, everyone's going to be there. It's like it was last night.
Okay, I'll see you then, and I'm gonna go back to the group. I imagine Ezekiel's with. Actually, does anyone come with?
Yeah, Ezekiel did.
Okay, you're gonna come too, right? I don't want to go alone. Oh, thank you.
And you guys make it back towards where Sia and Finch is.
And I'll relay. There's gonna be a sermon on tonight. If you guys want to come with as well, us two will be going.
Oh, you're giving another sermon, Sia?
That I was aware of.
Yeah, I wonder who organized who put the word out on a sermon happening then.
If I had to guess, it would be the Fey bitch.
Oh, sorry. But she's a bitch.
I've never heard her swear before. I don't think this is weird. Oh wow.
Well, it wasn't that. I was just more so surprised that we were hostile towards her.
Look, after everything that happened, it was her shit that I drank, and she had that weird smile after I gave that sermon. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one running everything to do with that. And the ship and the mutiny that happened.
Right. Well, maybe I should come along and just keep an eye on stuff. Or maybe... I was going to say maybe just don't go, but I feel conflicted about that. Just because... I mean, we did... Well, not these other two, but me and you did promise to spread word of Kashotan and Alvina.
I'm happy to do the sermon, just like to do them with my own words.
That was one thing I was wondering, was what aspect are Kashotan and Alvina gods of? People were talking a lot about hope. Kashotan, goddess of hope. What's Alvina goddess of?
I'm sure Alvina would be the goddess of hope, and Kashotan was supposed to be the goddess of forgiveness,
Correct.
if I remember, yes. But apparently, which is where Sia wasn't using her own words, we've gone into revenge stories instead.
Revenge. That's what Kashotan was talking about while she was corrupted. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I wonder.
Finch, can
That's
you
a
roll for
little.
me a history and a investigation check, please?
Oh, you dice.
You fucking
And Sia,
dice.
can you roll me a religion check?
All right.
Okay. What was that first one?
11.
It was history. History is 24. And what was the other one?
Investigation.
Investigation. No, I won't spend a point on this. That'll be big without it. Investigation is going to be
Actually-
24 also. Oh.
I would like to use the font of magic to re-roll that.
Yeah.
And do worse. Okay.
I don't think I gave a limit on that.
Sorry?
Wait, hang on. What'd you use again, sorry?
The font of magic thing. What's it called? Where is it? Magical guidance. When you reach 5th level, you can tap into the font of magic and use one of those instead, which is the sorcery points to re-roll the d20, and must use the new.
Alright. Okay. That's fine. Because even though you rolled bad, Finch didn't. As you and Finch sort of talk this over, this sort of like your words being used without your knowledge, the sort of like, what am I preaching? What am I putting through for people to believe in? And it's that sort of extra connection of, well, why was I talking about revenge? And then the Finch's inclusion of, well, wasn't Kishoten speaking about revenge, vengeance, when she was corrupted? And the sort of, even though she was still sort of saved from that prison she was in, she wasn't fully, by Elvina's words, fixed. And you're trying to sort of push through the ideals of your deities. The connecting point that you're able to come together with is that you are their herald, their speaker, and as such, you have now, with your knowledge, through this sort of dialogue with Finch, that being the herald is more than just a title. It is a spiritual connection to your gods.
Right.
The inclusion of such violent rhetoric, though on the surface doesn't make sense looking at who your deities are, it's definitely not all sunshine and roses. And it's the reason Kishoten is being given the title of forgiveness. You remember it not being her idea. That was Alvina's idea.
Right.
Well, if what you're saying, that this lady, Fey bitch, as you say, if she is behind whatever you're saying during these sort of trances, I find it strange that she knows about Kashotan so specifically to make you preach about revenge. That seems like a very specific thing for her to know.
Mm.
So if it is her doing this, it might be worth being very cautious around her.
Yeah. It's my thoughts as well.
The other additional thought that enters your mind, Asia, the sort of like logical thing you could think of that sort of brings across is that why don't I just ask Elvina and Kashotan?
Do I think I'd be able to do that without using the key?
You haven't tried.
Fair enough. It's worth a try then. Well,
Uh,
Again,
if you would
yeah.
like to attempt to do that, you can.
I will try
but-
and do that when there's a little more downtime. So, like, if we're not currently discussing anything, then I'll do it then. But, like, yeah.
I will say that the attempt to do so will require you to use a sort of spiritual focus, which will be your key.
Okay.
But that is definitely something you can wholeheartedly attempt.
I will do that if there's nothing else going on.
Out of game, did we ever find out who Frigrid was?
Uh,
No, she was one of the daughters, but I don't know if we found out anything additionally. She's the music box owner.
no, you did not.
I
As
was
far as
just-
I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I was like, oh, it's probably worth remembering later on that Kashotan and Alvina, goddess of forgiveness, goddess of hope. And as I'm getting down to the part of my notes where they are, I scrolled past the name Frigrid with the note first daughter as I scrolled down to third and second daughter. And I was like, oh, right, Frigrid. We never figured out. Did we ever figure out what she's up to right now? That's her name on the music box. But that's okay. I just wanted to double check if I'd forgotten to not only write that down, but also the entire session where we found that out.
No, you guys don't know in regards to the significance of Frigrin. But besides the fact that it rules out being a daughter of Goktangri. You guys hear a knock on the door. It opens, and there you see the captain, who's dressed in sort of a much more casual attire. And he goes, hey, look, guys, I'm just putting the word out if you're attending the sermon tonight. Ah, excellent.
I will be there if Sia is there.
You coming, Sia?
Sure.
Oh, excellent. Everyone's coming. It's starting soonish, and if you can make, well, Sia did such a wonderful job last night, so they say that Anastasia's going to be doing it tonight. She seems to have become a very true believer. So you did besides the oddities, Sia, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
No, but it's starting soon, and if you get there, soon, there should still be food on the charcuterie boards. Yes. And with that, he just leaves the door open and walks away.
You don't have to, but I think I will go just to see what she's saying.
Yeah. I feel like it might be important to know what she's about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to, but I feel like I should. I was kind of asked if I would be going, and yeah, and now that they brought it up, I kind of want to go see, go listen, because the same reason these two said. Okay. For the party.
All right.
We going to go now?
100.
100.
Wahana.
And you guys make your way towards the sort of dining room, which has now been changed back towards a sort of more of like a temple aesthetic. Coming inside, you see that on the opposite wall, there is a table that's been set up with like snacks and stuff. You see that there's a lot of empty seats, mainly because half the crew is dead. Um, there you see there you see Anastasia standing sort of on this sort of raised uh, bit of wood. And then you see at the back, sitting sort of by himself with a bunch of drinks is the captain, who notices you arrive and waits for you to join him. He notices. He goes, hey, thanks for coming," and he hands you a drink. Um, he looks around. He goes, you've all come. Look, fantastic. I appreciate the support." And he hands everybody else a drink.
Thank you. He's not going to drink.
No worries. He takes a swig of his. It's very bitter. It's almost like disgustingly bitter, and then the aftertaste kicks in, and it's super sweet.
I'll stay here, enjoy my pizza and my peppermint schnapps, and you go back.
Finch, see ya. Drinks are on me. Please help yourselves.
I'm good, thank you. Already tried some, it's really just not to my taste.
He gives you a look, very briefly, very quick, before sort of going back to his, just a quick look, and he goes, Finch, I'm sure you could use a drink.
Probably.
Bottoms up, mate.
Well, I'll grab the mug and I'll just do like a gesture towards him and then just put it back down. Thanks for the drink.
Sia, Sia said something about having a drink, and then he doesn't keep speaking because of the face. Oh, yeah, he gets airsick.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
What do you do with your mug, by the way? Oh, okay.
14. You're able to throw the drink back up. No water. But I will after the sermon's finished for you to clean that up. And then you sort of no one really to help you. It seems the rest of the crew are sitting at in their seats, but every crew member has a drink. Yeah. I mean, they didn't really have a uniform to begin with. But, he looks at you and he looks almost groggy, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, at the closet outside the room, further down the hall. Yeah." Oh, the closet is outside, down the hall. Have you tried some of this drink, Ezekiel? Hmm, that's okay, Ezekiel. Yeah, you see that the captain's main focus is on his wife. Very, very good. It doesn't smell like anything. It is all right. Fair enough. You see that the group sort of notices that the captain is sort of transfixed by his wife. Uh, his eyes shine a little bit. Um, before she sort of like coughs to herself, and Anastasia goes, "Ah, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Sia, for attending this sermon. For if not for her, then we would not all be here. If not for her and our gods, Elvina and Kashotan, we would not all have the wonderful lives that we have now." True to Sia's words last night, hope is a powerful thing. It is through hope that we can achieve much Achieve many, achieve great. Hope being the driving force for all that we have. Hope that we will not only see the next morrow, but the bounty after rain is full. Hope that the children we bring up in this world live a wondrous life, filled with less hardship than the ones that we have. Hope that the things we seek to gain always land in our laps. And forgiveness, so that those they may slight us not ever impede our way, for they are ignorant. Forgiveness allows us to let go of the things that would tie us down. Forgiving lets go of the weight. But what do we do when we cannot forgive? I say by Sia's words last night that those that cannot be forgiven must be forgotten. Take them out of your mind, lest they rot and grow and spoil it. Forgottenness, apathy, those are the true things that need to be taken hold. We pay them no heed, we pay them no mind, lest they fuel us full of emotions and feelings that would weigh us down like a rock in the water, unable to swim, unable to breathe, stuck and at the mercy of the ebb and flow of the river or the ocean or the stream with which we find ourselves. But sometimes, children, we find ourselves in situations where forgiveness is almost unattainable. We find ourselves where people would try and stifle our hope, crush us, make us despair. And if not for Sia's teachers, we would not know what to do in those situations. And in those situations, violence is the only answer.
What?
Those that would stop our growth, our drive for hope, must be put into the soil. The truth that the only way to stop those from doing that which we don't like is to make sure they can never do it again. Vengeance, my children, is the ultimate form of being. And the crowd starts to clap and stand. And they coherently chant, "Vengeance! Vengeance! Vengeance!" And you see the captain, and he is smitten. She raises her hands. They sit down. It is not just vengeance, my children, but justice. And I think that will be it for this sermon. The crowd claps. She walks off and leaves. The captain looks at you guys and goes, "Well, that was pretty fucking good."
Yeah, everyone seemed to enjoy it. Everyone's pretty lively.
Hey, ain't that the truth?
Could I borrow your drink for a quick second?
Yeah, sure. There's plenty there.
I take his drink. I'm just gonna turn it back to him quickly. I'm just gonna cast Purify Food and Drink and just see if it tastes different to him now.
Alright.
I do that. Cast
Yeah.
that. And I give it back to him. I go, give that a quick taste.
What is this? That's not the drink I just gave you.
Right. That's all right. No, I just changed it a little bit. unbeknownst to you, I used to brew myself, actually.
Well, let me tell you, you're a terrible brewer, mate. This tastes like total dog shit.
That's why I changed profession and became a fighting champion.
Yeah, good move.
No
Now
worries.
Felix, excuse me, I'm gonna go thank my wife. And he walks away.
Well, that's not good, is it?
I think we need to get on the ship whenever we can.
Yes.
I'm gonna find somewhere quiet to see if I can talk to Sheraton and Alvina.
Did we find the barrels, all the barrels of where these drinks are stored? Like,
Well, that's what I was going to suggest. Maybe we should find where these barrels are, and maybe do that to them, and maybe
Yes.
see if someone tries to fix what you do to them.
Yes, that's a good idea. So let's try and investigate that and find them.
Alright.
And
That
if
sounds like a Wessel job to me.
can do, and also even if someone doesn't come to whatever the fuck they did to it, we'll probably find out next sermon. It will probably go differently. And if it doesn't go differently, then I don't know.
Alright. You guys are gonna go suss out if there are any barrels of drink. See ya.
I would like to try and get in touch with Alvina. Sheraton.
Alright. You find an unused room that looks to be like an old storage room. Doesn't look like it's really being used for anything at the moment, or at all, really. But you are able to come in, you close the door, and this room has itself a lock.
So this room can be locked,
Yes, if that is what you would like to do,
and that's locked from the inside.
from the inside.
Is there anywhere to hide in the
Not really. There's a couple of empty chests and a cupboard. There's a small bench-like table to the side with 2 stools, but apart from that, there's not really anywhere to hide.
She's gonna find the place that is the... Obviously she can't hide herself, but the most not obvious that she's gonna be in there and lock the door and then sit in that spot instead.
Alright. Coming in, closing the door behind you, putting the bolt on it shut, and then just sort of finding the sort of the quietest part of the room. Alright, so yeah, how are we going to do this? How would you like to contact your gods?
I think she's just gonna like hold the key and meditate.
Alright. Roll for me a religion check, please.
"13.
Holding onto the key, thinking about Alvina. You feel a shiver down your neck, or down your spine. And for some reason, you strangely know that how or why there is a connection. But you don't hear anything.
Would I feel like it's more of like a failed roll because I can then try the same thing I did before?
You don't feel like it's failed.
Right.
there is a connection, but the only problem is that this is something you have no experience in this field, so you don't know. There's nothing to go off. Besides knowing that there's a connection, but it's, you can't, if I've been saying anything to you, there's nothing.
She's gonna mentally call out just in case they were waiting to speak first.
You throw your mind out through using the key as the connecting point into the labyrinth, and you feel it connect and touch upon Alvina. And you hear her, "Sia, is that you?"
Oh, glad to hear your voice again.
I thought you had forgotten us.
No, not forgotten. I just been very busy, and this is very new to me. So figuring things out is a bit.
Well, that's okay.
Well,
What's the matter?
wanted to ask about a sermon that I did, and Sia's gonna describe what she's been told about the sermon, and also describe what happened to her during it. She just wanted to confirm, was that something you guys had intended to happen in any way?
You feel the deep silentness. You feel her pull away before sort of like coming back. It is not something that I am aware of, Sia.
I had a feeling that was the case.
And I can only say this because this is all new to me. And I will be honest, and I say this while scared and afraid. I do not think Keshoten can be saved. But I cannot kill her.
Well, what should we do then?
I am going to put a lot of burden onto you to make this journey, at the very least, workable for us, for you, for me, is that whatever you preach, it will have to involve her in the ways that which we don't want it to.
So we make her into the bad guy in the story.
If that is what it takes, either that or this sort of dominion worship includes themes, feelings, and emotions that I do not believe would be most beneficial. Shoten is pliable, and there are moments where she is, I want to say, normal. But underneath it all, she is a very deeply scarred and hurt person.
Hmm.
And these are coming out in the form of rage, vengeance, justice, revenge, things that which she could use to lash out at those that perceived to have wounded or hurted her. I had to save Commissar Arclight behind her back. I could see it. He could be redeemed, and he was on the path to doing so. We were learning so much, but she was going to kill him. Truly, completely. So I sent him back to the Materium. He is on his way to help.
Right.
Whether you accept his help or not is your own choice. But he, I believe, and my hope is strong with this, he is with us.
Well, I trust your hope.
The fear, Sia, is those using our new religion for their own goals.
That
And I
worries
am
me
on
as well.
2 minds of this. The first is that hopefully these individuals can be talked down or away, or convinced otherwise to follow your words. Hopefully untwisted, unmisinterpreted. And if they can't see her, though it will pain me, their voices have to be silenced.
I'll do what I can.
I will say, even though you weren't fully there for that first sermon, I do see 2 souls here. One of them's a little dark, sure, but they're here and they believe. She's coming. I believe in you, Sia. I always will. And you feel the connection cut.
Right then. Bit of information. But though Sia will do her very best to hide in a room that she can't hide in, hearing that she's coming. So she's not sure Alvina was talking back as the anesthesia.
You hear a knock on the door, and it's Anastasia. Sia, are you okay in there?
I'm okay, was just feeling a little overwhelmed. I am very happy that people are glad to be listening about these teachings. Is just
Were you proud of me?
it's hard to process new emotions I haven't felt before, so I'm not sure if I'm on it.
I will take that as a compliment, Sia. It could be worse. I could have messed up the words of our great herald.
Yes, that is something could happen.
Well then, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
And you see her shadow from underneath the door.
God, that's creepy.
And with that, we'll end today's session.
What the fuck?
That
Right.
lady is so creepy, dude.